Who is the Church of Ephesus, and why should we know about them? In the book of Revelations, chapter number 2, Jesus begins to address 7 churches of Asia Minor. When he addresses the Church of Ephesus, he says these words.
Unto the angel of the Church of Ephesus write, These things saith he that holdeth the 7 stars in his right hand, which walketh in the midst of the 7 golden candlesticks. I know thy works, and thy labor, and thy patience, and how thou canst not bear them that do evil. And thou hast tried them that say they are apostles, and are not, and found them liars. And hast borne and hast patience for my name's sake, and hast labored, and hast not fainted. Nevertheless, I have somewhat against thee. Thou hast left thy first love. Remember therefore from whence thou art fallen, and repent, and do the first works, or else I will come unto thee quickly, and remove thy candlestick out of its place, except thou repent. But this thou hast, that thou hatest the deeds of the Nicolaitans, that I also hate. He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit is saying unto the churches. To him that overcometh I will give to eat of the tree of life, which is in the midst of the paradise of God.
When Christ addresses himself to Ephesus, he says, I'm the one who holds the 7 stars in my right hand and walks amongst the 7 candlesticks. What this means is, I, Jesus Christ, am the one who has all the churches in my hand and all the leaders of those churches. This mystery was unveiled in the last chapter in verse number 20. The Church of Ephesus has a long history. The Apostle Paul finds this church over in the book of Acts. He spends a lot of time here, and he even writes back to this church to check on his spiritual wealth in the book of Ephesians. This church was located in the area of one of the 7 wonders of the world. The temple of Artemis was located when this church was founded. You see, God commends them by saying, you're a hard-working church. You hate the work of evil, and he even goes on to mention the Nicolaitan doctrine, by name, by saying you hate the deeds of the Nicolaitans. The Nicolaitans were people who promoted a sensual lifestyle, and they still believed that they could call themselves Christians even though they were doing bad things. Ephesus hated those type of people. God says, listen, you guys are doing great things, but here's where you're going wrong. You're going wrong because you have left your first love. If you looked at Ephesus from the outside in, you would see a church who was doing a lot of church things. So Jesus says, unless you repent, Ephesus, and come back to your first love, I'm going to take away your candlestick. What that means is, I'm going to take away your church.